Hello, everybody. I hope everyone is having a good day today. It is a lovely afternoon. It is currently Thursday. It is October 7th of 2021. It is currently 71 degrees in Los Angeles, California, in the United States of America. It's pretty good weather. I love this weather. You guys already know I fucking hate it when it's hot, which is weird coming from a person who lives in LA, but I love cold weather, but uh, yeah. Anyway, I guess should probably just get to the point. I know you guys don't give a shit about what I say, my personal life, but that's okay. If I sound weird, it's because I just woke up, so my voice is a little bit deeper than it usually is, I think. So today I'm gonna talk about the news for the first time in like over 2 months. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah, we have news today. As you can see at the top of my screen, there's some tabs open that we're gonna look into. I didn't look. I didn't go too crazy this morning. I tried to get some a little bit. Usually I have more articles to read. Again, I didn't pre-read anything, but the first topic we're going to talk about is this topic. I don't really talk about stuff like this. I mean, I mention it sometimes here and there, but I wouldn't say I usually talk about it. I don't really talk about Twitch streamers and I guess social media influencers in general because I don't really care, and plus they're not relevant to news. But I know that Hasanabi, aka Hasan Piker, has been in the news recently. Not like major news, but like people on Twitter crying and stuff about it. Because apparently, if you don't know, Twitch basically had a leak where it showed multiple Twitch streamers' income, which when I first saw it, number one, for me personally, I don't care. I don't give a shit how much these fucking Twitch streamers make. I don't care. I have better things to do with my life than care. But apparently a lot of people got really triggered over it. But out of all of the Twitch streamers that, have money, everyone's hyper focusing on Hasan Piker, which I think it's funny that people are so bent over this, because I think it's kind of stupid. But we're gonna look at the situation. We're not even gonna look at the situation. We're just gonna see what people are crying about, and I want to talk about it. Again, like, if you watch me, I think you might know that I do like Hasan Piker. I watch him sometimes. Before, back in the day, I used to watch him all the time, but recently I haven't. I don't have time to watch him anymore. But yeah, people have just been bitching and moaning about Hasan Piker, and I think it's funny because it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But people choose to cry about it because I'm assuming they have nothing better to do with their spare time, and they think, hey, maybe I should just shit on a Twitch streamer because, I have nothing better to do with my time. But we're gonna look at this. I found this on Twitter. Uh, this is who tweeted this is Caleb Hall. I don't know who the fuck this is. All right, he's just some guy I saw who posted this. It says Twitch just had a massive hack that revealed the revenue of creators. Popular socialist and political commentator Hasan Piker is making over $200,000 a month. He says that like it's crazy. Pretty easy to preach about socialism when you're living a capitalist 1%er life. So again, I think immediately I started laughing when I saw this because it's so fucking stupid. But let's look at this. Let's see. Again, I don't care. I could care less, but I'm only talking about this because people are crying about it, and I think it's funny when people cry. So you can see XQC making over $700,000 a month. Summit, you got Tyler One, and there's Hasan Piker. There's our guy making over $200,000 a month. And then down here we have other popular Twitch streamers, and people saw this number. Look, Hasan was already getting shit because he bought a house, and people like mainly like obviously Republicans are gonna bitch and moan either way. I don't really care about what the Republicans have to say, because Republicans and conservatives are going to cry and moan no matter what people do, especially the left, and especially Hasan Piker, because he's a outspoken socialist. So of course they're always going to pinpoint him and cry over whatever the fuck he does. But I do think it's more funny seeing how the left sees this, the neoliberals and stuff, and the hardcore socialists who say they're socialists but they don't really know what it fucking means. I think they're funny because they're the ones really crying. They're the ones crying about this, and I think it's funny. Again, this guy, I don't know who the fuck he is. I probably shouldn't even be showing his name because I don't want to, like, I don't know. Well, his name's right here anyway, so it's fucking no point. But he says that Hasan Piker is living in the top 1%. That's what he's suggesting. If you don't know what the top 1% is, the top 1% is basically the top 1% of the richest people in America. You know, people like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, the typical rich guys, the top 1% who make an extraordinary amount of money by exploiting their workers and etc. Typical capitalism. And I think it's funny and stupid that if you're making over $200,000 a month, you're in the top 1%. Number one, that's false. That's not true. If you think just because you make over 200,000 a month is living in the top 1%, then you're wrong. I'm sorry, that's not how it works. We're gonna look over at this. This is by the Economic Policy Institute. The unequal states of America, income equality in the United States. Income trends have varied by state and within the states, but a pattern is apparent. The growth of the top 1% incomes explore equality in this interactive feature. So, this is the Economic Policy Institute is a nonprofit organization. They talk about economics and stuff like that. So, if you look here, if you look at the United States, you can pick other ones too. But in the United States as a whole, the average annual income from the top 1% is over $1 million. What you need to make in the top 1%, over $400,000. Over $400,000. I don't think making over $200,000 is in the top 1%. Okay? There. That's it. Average income of everyone else, the bottom 99%. And there's other facts. Top 1% make 26.3 times more than the bottom 99%. The top 1% take home 21% of all income in the United States. Here's 1% of families, 21% of the income. You could look at this website yourself if you want. I highly suggest it. Just kind of, guys, use your brain a little bit. Come on, use that big brain of yours. Also, what people are moaning and crying about is that, what were they crying about? Somebody was like, again, I'm not trying to like call out people on Twitter because I'm not trying to do all that because I think that's stupid and childish. But I know some people on Twitter were saying like, oh, why are people hyper focusing on Hasan Piker when there's like other millionaire streamers and they're not saying anything about them? And other people are saying their argument is, well, people are shitting on Hasan because he's a socialist. So because he's a socialist and he talks about taxing the rich and he's rich, people are angry about it, which doesn't, people are fucking stupid. I'm sorry. People are really dumb. You could be rich and still be a socialist, right? That's not how it works. People think, oh, even like lefties think this too. Like conservatives, I don't think they have a brain, so like they don't really think about it. But definitely lefties, they're like, socialism equals no house. Like that was a big meme when Hasan first bought his house. And people were like, oh, socialism is when you have no money. Socialism is when you're poor You're not allowed to own a house. You're not allowed to make good money when that's not how it fucking works. If you even look up the definition of socialism, that's not how socialism works. That's not what it is. All right, I know socialists and stuff are always like, oh, tax the rich, eat the rich, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's not really how it works, okay? All we want is higher taxes on the rich. And I'm pretty sure Hasan Piker is okay with paying taxes. I'm not gonna go through all his fucking videos because they're like 13 hours fucking long, and I'm not gonna do that to myself just for the sake of this dumbass argument. But Hasan Piker has said more than once when I would watch his stream that he's okay with paying taxes. And if anything, he believes he should be taxed a lot more. He's open to that. But again, he's not the government. He doesn't get to just decide who and who pay taxes and how much do they pay of it. All right. People, what gets me like bent a little bit is the fact that people will attack anybody except the top 1%. The actual people at the top 1%, the actual billionaires and shit, people will do anything but attack them. Those people who are actually not paying really almost anything in taxes. But people decide to hyper focus on some random fucking Twitch streamer who's making a little over $200,000, which again doesn't even put you in the top 1%. No fucking shot. Yeah, and a lot of people are talking about it. Here's this meme: Twitter finding out Twitch streamers money, Hasan Piker, yeah, other millionaire streamers. Yeah, that's funny. Again, I'm just talking about this because it annoys me. And I'm kind of tired of seeing it everywhere because I think it's annoying. But yeah, and like, dude, people fucking pay him. Wait, people literally. Hasan is not. He's not the same thing as like Jeff Bezos. You can't compare him to him. You can't compare the two. That's fucking stupid. What's wrong with people? Oh my god, dude. People literally pay him money. They choose to pay him directly. They choose to do that. You think the fucking you think the lady down the street who's paying for toilet paper at Walmart is choosing for that money to go to the top 1% or something? No. She's not. People who watch Hasan Piker go out of their way to pay him money. They do that. They have like tier 1 subscriptions and all that. They choose to do that. No one's forcing anyone to pay him this amount of money. Someone said on Twitter earlier, they were like, oh, I think it was Cinnamon Toast Ken. He was saying like, oh, people pay Hasan money, yet people get mad that he has money. Like, what the fuck? Like, people sound dumb as fuck. And I think that's hilarious how stupid people sound. Guys, get a hobby. Go to school. Study. I know you guys have algebra homework later. Okay? Relax. It's not that big of a deal. Okay? If you're really, like, why do you care so much? It literally doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I promise you it doesn't matter. It doesn't. But, yeah, I just want to talk about that because I think it's funny how people are so triggered over it. Like, again, I consider myself a socialist, and I'm not losing my fucking mind. Hasan isn't hurting anyone, okay? Except the gray names in his chat. That's it. I don't care what the fuck he does. I don't care if he has a house. You shouldn't care either. That's fucking weird. Why do you give a shit about what Twitch streamer has a house? I think it's hilarious. They're like, oh, you're a socialist? You're not allowed to own a house. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, get some help. Get help, alright? Get some help. Go to the doctor. Go touch some grass. Please, go do that. Alright. I'm done talking about Hasan. I already spent like over 10 minutes talking about this dude, and I have other things to talk about. Let me change the title of my stream. Hold on. I'm changing the title on my stream. Give me a second. Don't get all mad. Okay, we're gonna move on away from Hasan Piker. I'm done talking about him. Again, you should look at this if you want more information. Again, Economic Policy Institute, they're a nonprofit organization. Alright, they talk about a lot of shit. Alright, guys, do some reading. Pick up a book. Okay, it's good for your brain. We're gonna talk about some other news now. But hold on, I'm gonna drink some water, and I don't want you to hear me drinking water because that's weird. Give me like 5 seconds. Okay, that water fucking hit different, dude. That shit was nice. We're gonna talk about the Senate. I know I haven't streamed much about the news, so I'm not as like into the news as much as I was before, so I'm gonna be a little rusty. Some things are gonna talk about that I don't understand, but I'm gonna do my best because only recently have I started getting back into the news, into the swing of things, okay? This was uploaded by The Guardian. Okay, Senate reaches short-term deal to raise debt ceiling. Schumer announces that would extend borrowing authority into December. Senate leaders have announced an agreement to extend the government's borrowing authority into December, temporarily averting an unexpected federal default that experts say would have devastated the economy. So if you don't know what this is, they're basically talking about, in simple words, the government was gonna how do I explain it? They're going into debt. That lovely debt. They're going into debt, and they have to raise the debt ceiling, aka the United States debt, in order to keep funding the government, to keep the government going. So, yeah, I hope I explained that in simple words. If it sounded confusing, I'm sorry. Our hope is to get this done as soon as today, the Majority Leader Chuck Schumer declared on Thursday as he opened the Senate. In their agreement, Republican and Democrat leaders edged back from a hilarious standoff over lifting the nation's borrowing cap, the Democratic senators accepting an offer from the Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell. McConnell made an offer earlier today just before Republicans prepared to block longer-term legislation to suspend the debt limit as Joe Biden and business leaders voiced their concern that a default would disrupt government payments to millions of people and throw the country into recession. Also, I believe this is right. All right, don't attack me again. I'm rusty. I believe Republicans, they were like, fuck, what was it? Because obviously the government, obviously Democrats and stuff were like, hey, we should raise the debt ceilings and get in more debt so that, like, you know, the government doesn't shut down. And I think Republicans were like, no, you have to do this in order for us to do that, which is fucking crazy because the government was literally going to shut down and Republicans were basically like, yeah, I don't care. And I'm not talking about, when I say Republicans and stuff like that, in this situation, I'm not talking about Republican voters, okay? I'm talking about Republican officials that are in office, okay? McConnell made an offer I can't fucking read. McConnell made the offer a day earlier, just before Republicans were prepared to block long-term legislation to suspend the debt limit. Oh yeah, I just fucking read this. Wall Street continued to rally on the news. The S&P 500 rose 1.5 by midday, and the Nasdaq composite, I can't read that, with the heavy weighting of technology stocks, rose 1.8. Okay, I don't give a shit about Wall Street and their fucking stocks, okay? That's just my opinion, though. Sorry. The agreement sets the stage for a sequel of sorts in December, when Congress will face again pressing deadlines to fund the government and raise the debt limit before heading for the holidays. See, the fact that this is even a problem, the fact that like Congress and stuff is bitching and moaning and arguing with each other over funding the government is fucking insanity, dude. That's so stupid. Again, it's just politics. This is just politics. Where they cry and moan and scream at each other over dumb shit. Like, yes, raise the debt ceiling, raise it. Who cares? You're talking about shutting down the government. What do you think is gonna happen if the government shut down? Ugh, I'm sorry, this shit's like so annoying. Ugh. The agreement will allow for raising the debt ceiling by about 480, I believe that says billion. I'm stupid, so don't yell at me. According to a Senate aide familiar with negotiations who spoke on the condition anonymously, this is a level that Treasury Department has said is needed to get to the 3rd of December. Congress just had days to act before the 18th of October deadline, when the Treasury Department had warned that it would quickly run short of funds to handle the country's already accrued debt loan. Also, if you guys are worried about debt, if people are worried about America's debt that we have, which is a fuck ton, if I were you, at least for me, I don't care because I don't know, I just don't care about the debt. I just think it doesn't matter. That's probably ignorant to say because I'm not super educated on the debt. But me personally, I wouldn't care about it. There's other things to care about. Don't waste your time worrying about America's debt. Like the debt's always going to be bad. I highly doubt our debt is ever going to be fixed. If anything, I think it's supposed to be like that. But again, I'm not super educated on it, so take what I say with a grain of salt. McConnell and Senate Republicans have insisted that Democrats have to go it alone to raise the debt ceiling and allow the Treasury to renew its borrowing so that the country can meet its financial obligations. Further, McConnell has insisted Democrats use the same cumbersome legislative process called reconciliation that they have used to pass a $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief bill and have been employing to try to pass the Biden $3.5 trillion measure to boost safety nets, healthcare, environment programs. McConnell said in his offer on Wednesday that Republicans would still insist that Democrats use the reconciliation process for a long-term debt limit extension. However, the Republicans were willing to assist in expediting that process. And in the meantime, Democrats may use the same legislative process to pass a short-term debt limit extension with a fixed dollar amount to cover current spending levels into December. While he continued to blame Democrats, his offer will also allow Republicans to avoid accommodation they will have forgotten from some quarters if the financial crisis were to occur. Like, why is this like... I'm sorry, but like, why are they blaming each other? Like, bro, just fucking pass it. Like, stop being a little bitch. I hate when Congress does this shit. It's so fucking stupid and it literally gets me angry. Cause it's so dumb. Again, just politics at its finest. At a White House event with top business leaders, Biden had shamed Republican senators for threatening to filibuster any suspension of the $48.4 trillion cap on the government's borrowing authority. It's not right and it's dangerous, Biden said of the resistance by Senate Republicans. Before the White House meeting, the administration warned that if the borrowing limit wasn't extended, it could set off an international financial crisis the United States might not be able to manage. Ugh. Okay. Okay, look. When I said that the debt isn't a problem, I meant that. But when we're talking about continuing to fund the government so that it keeps going, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about our national debt. I think I should have been more specific. I'm sorry. A default would send shockwaves through the global financial markets and would likely cause credit markets worldwide to freeze up and stock markets to plunge. The White House Council of Economics Advisors said in a new report employers around the world would likely have to begin laying off workers. The recession that could trigger could be worse than the 2008 financial crisis. It would come as many nations are still struggling with the COVID-19 pandemic, the report said. Once a routine matter, raising the debt limit has become politically treacherous over the past decade or more, used by Republicans in particular to rail against government spending and raise the debt ceiling load. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I meant. This is fucking stupid. You've read 12 articles in the last year? Is this true? That's why do y'all care? Don't expose me by saying how many articles I've read by The Guardian. Yeah, that's the news on the debt ceiling. They're gonna pay it, but they only did it short term because, as you can see, it's only gonna be good until December 3rd, I think it was. Which, isn't good. They only managed to do a short-term solution. So just when the holidays come around, when people are tired and shit, and people just want to go see their families, the government's going to be like, oh yeah, let's argue again on whether or not we should fund the government. Awesome, dude. Thanks. Sorry, this is really stupid. I think it's stupid how Congress is arguing about this. They're literally arguing whether or not to fund the government. It's crazy and very stupid. Moving on. Yes, I am very tired. Okay, we're gonna talk about student loans. Student loan forgiveness, who is eligible, and how to apply under Biden's new relief program. So, I didn't know about this. By the way, I didn't know about this. I thought I didn't know about this at all because I haven't, again, like I said, I haven't really been paying attention to the news recently. So I barely saw this today. Hold on, let me change the title again. Give me a second. Okay, let's start. Okay, student loan forgiveness, who is eligible, and how to apply under Biden's new relief program. Okay, so all you college students or ex-college students out there, college graduates, pay attention. The federal program failed to fulfill its promise of offering student debt relief to thousands of public workers, including teachers, police officers, and firefighters. Now, the government is trying to make it right. On Wednesday, the U.S. Department of Education announced sweeping changes to public service loan forgiveness program after thousands of borrowers applied for forgiveness, with nearly all of them being rejected by the federal government. After making a decade of payments, many found that they had the wrong type of federal loan or repayment plan to be eligible for the program. Thousands have been straddled with debt that they thought would be erased. Under temporary changes through October 2022, those borrowers will be eligible to get their loans cleared. The overhaul is designed to let borrowers correct errors and count payments they were trying to make towards the program. It is expected to shorten the amount of time more than 550,000 borrowers. Those who have already consolidated their loans are required to make payment qualifications for forgiveness, the government said. The changes will immediately raise the debt of 22,000 borrowers to the tune of the $1.7 billion, the agency said. The government estimated another 27,000 borrowers could see about $2.8 billion in debt forgiveness if they prove they were employed in an eligible job. If you have these loans, here are the steps you can take to get relief. What is public service loan forgiveness? Where did it originate? Bro, again, I can't read. I'm very stupid. The Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program is was launched in 2007 in an effort to steer more college graduates into public service. As long as they made 10 years of payment on their federal student loans, the program promised to erase the remainder. Jesus, dude. The fuck? Okay, the program, however, had proved anything but forgiving. Before Wednesday's announcements, only 16,000 borrowers had seen their debt forgiven via the program, according to the Education Department. About 1.3 million people are trying to have their debts discharged through the program. Fuck, dude, that's fucking crazy. Only 16,000? Jesus. One of the most problematic pieces of the public service loan forgiveness, many borrowers had the wrong type of loan and didn't realize they weren't eligible for the relief. When the loan forgiveness program was first introduced, many of the loans offered from the federal government were family federal education loans, or loans they made through private entities but insured by the federal government. The government stopped offering those loans in 2010 and now relies on district loans, the kind eligible for forgiveness. The Education Department said about 60% of borrowers with an approved employer hold FFFEL loans. Who is eligible for the student loan forgiveness? The government previously restricted eligibility for the public service loan program to only certain types of federal student loans and specific repayment plans. However, through October 2022, the borrowers who have made 10 years worth of payments while in a qualifying job such as positions in federal, state, or local government and nonprofit organization or in the U.S. military will now be eligible for loan relief no matter what kind of federal loan or repayment they have. Bro, this is fucking crazy how it says the U.S. military. My guy, bro, doesn't the U.S. military say that they're supposed to pay off your fucking debt? Isn't that like the point? Like, some people go to the military because they don't want to pay college debt. What the fuck? But yet they can still, bro, that's crazy. Ugh. Okay. So, yeah, if you do this, you could apply. Past loan payments that were previously ineligible will now count, moving some borrowers closer to forgiveness. This is expected to especially help these borrowers with federal family education loans. Among other changes, the department will only allow military members to count time on active duty towards the 10 years, even if they put a pause on making their payments during that time. Oh, what the fuck? Okay. How do I figure out if my past or current employer qualifies for PSLF? Use this tool to help student federal website. Okay, yeah. Qualifying. Yeah, check this website out. Again, I'm just reading this mainly for people who might watch this. If you have student loans and your situation checks off these boxes, like what it said, if you worked in a federal position, state or local position in government or a nonprofit organization or the military for over 10 years, and you've been paying off student loans for over 10 years, you could apply for this. This is for you. But for very recent college graduates or upcoming college graduates, I'm pretty sure this does not apply to you. Sorry, young people. It provides information on which employers meet requirements for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. How do I check which federal loans I have? If borrowers are unsure what type of loan they have, they can request that information from their loan servicer, or they can check on the federal government's website or financial aid, according to the Betsy Mayotte, president of the Institute of Student Loan Advisors. If you don't know what kind of federal loans you have, you can see which programs by logging into your account in studentaid.gov or going to the My Aid page and scrolling down to the loan breakdown section. If I qualify, what steps do I need to take? Changes to the student loan forgiveness plan will take places in two parts. The agency will first loosen some of the rules that had previously eligible borrowers from discharging their loans via a limited waiver. The government, for example, will allow payments on any person's loans towards the number required for forgiveness. The public service loan waiver will be available to borrowers who have direct loans, federal family education loans, and Perkins loans. Parent PLUS loans are not eligible under the limited waiver. Okay. The department said it would automatically credit borrowers who have already direct loans and have proved they work in an eligible field. Others who haven't enrolled in the program or are ineligible federal loans will have to apply for forgiveness, which may require them to consolidate their loans. Borrowers will have until October 2022 to apply. Again, if these apply to you, you have until next year in October, right? Hurry the fuck up, do it now. Even if you think you might be eligible, still apply, okay? It'll be worth a shot, right? Just do it. Even if you think you might apply or you apply, for sure, just do it, okay? So find out more about loan conciliation via studentaid.gov/. The Education Department also plans to review all public service loan forgiveness applications that have been denied to give federal employees automatic credit towards forgiveness. Other changes will come in more slowly via regulation made by rulemaking, a lengthy and complicated bureaucratic back and forth between the government and other stakeholders. For more information, visit studentaid.gov/the waiver thing. How do you receive credit for past payments under the new rule? For a limited time, borrowers may get credit for past payments made on loans that would otherwise not qualify for the public loan forgiveness program. These are two types of requirements to receive additional qualification payments: full-time employment and loan consolidation. Okay, I can't read again. For instance, you must have worked full-time for a qualifying employer when prior payments were made according to the federal student aid. Okay, remember this. Again, we'll read it again. For instance, you must have worked full-time for a qualifying employer when prior payments were made. Some part-time workers may qualify under certain circumstances. Say you were employed in more than one qualifying part-time job at the same time. You would be considered full-time if you worked a combined average of at least 30 hours per week. It may take several months for a borrower account information to reflect the new payment account according to the federal student aid. How far back can I get credit for payments? To be sure, you can only receive credit for payments made after October 1st, 2007, since that is when the public student loan forgiveness program began. For any period you may have additional qualification payments, you must file an application. Okay, at least they let you file an application. Who may need to consolidate their loans? If you have federal family education loan programs, federal Perkins loans, or other types of federal loans that aren't direct loans, you must consolidate them into direct loan payment by October 31st, 2022, according to the federal student aid. This is important for borrowers because you can't receive credit for payments if you consolidate after the date. Again, do it quick. You have until October 22. Do it. All right, time flies by. Once the conciliation process is complete, you must submit a PSLF form to your student loan servicer. The help tool, shut up, computer. This help tool on the federal student aid website will be updated in the upcoming months to process applications for borrowers in the federal family education loan program and for those with Perkins loans. Right now, employment can still be verified for them in September 1st. Of the step 2 of the help tool and loan consolidation can be requested. Federal student aid set on its website, but an application for the student loan program, I can't fucking read. But an application for the public service loan forgiveness program through the tool may not be available in the near term for those borrowers. And that's where it ends. Well, again, I didn't pre-read this because I don't really pre-read stuff, but I hope that helped. I hope that helped you guys. If you qualify, do it. All right, just do it. Don't even think about it. If you qualify, or even if you think you qualify, just do it. What's the worst that can happen? All right, the government and fucking college is already fucking you in the ass. Do whatever you have to do to get by. Okay, who cares? Again, this the student loan forgiveness program isn't for everyone, especially younger people who are recent college graduates. We're gonna move on. Brother, we're gonna move on to the vaccines. We're gonna move on to vaccines, brother. We're gonna move on to, yeah, vaccines. All this stuff. No! No! Why does the New York Times want to charge me? Oh! Okay, I guess we're not reading that because I'm not paying money to read the fucking New York Times. Who the fuck do you think I am? Okay, we're gonna still talk about COVID. If you're not vaccinated, get vaccinated. What the fuck's wrong with you? What are you doing? What's wrong with you? Get vaccinated. I'm already vaccinated myself. I got Moderna. And I guess this is news too. I recently got my mom vaccinated as well. My mom is going to get her second shot later this month. So that's very exciting. After years of convincing, and after years of my dumbass, after like months of trying to tell her like, hey, you should get the vaccine. She finally was like, okay. So she got her first vaccine. She got what she get? She got Moderna. I got Pfizer. I think I said I got Moderna. That's wrong. I meant to say I got Pfizer. She got Moderna. And she's going to get her second shot later this month, so that's very exciting. Get vaccinated. Tell your family to get vaccinated. Tell your friends to get vaccinated. What the fuck's wrong with you? Okay, we're going to talk. This is in LA, by the way. Garcetti signs COVID vaccine mandate for indoor spaces starting November 29th. Alright, this was uploaded yesterday. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti signed an ordinance that will require people in Los Angeles to show full proof of COVID-19 vaccination before entering an indoor restaurant, bars, gyms, shopping centers, and entertainment venues and personal care establishments. Bitch. Shopping centers? Oh, that's fucking awesome, dude. The mayor's approval came just hours after the Los Angeles City Council passed a measure considered one of the strictest in the nation. While the measure takes effect in 31 days after the mayor's signature, the city will begin enforcement as of November 29th. Bro, so literally in 30 days, so you guys have like a month. Get fucking vaccinated, especially if you live in LA. What the fuck's wrong with you? The city already requires full vaccination or proof of negative COVID-19 tests for mega events, which includes events such as sporting events and concerts attended more than 10,000 people. The new vaccine mandate passed with 11 votes Wednesday morning, which was just short of the 12 votes needed to pass, with an urgency clause allowing it to take effect immediately. Retail establishments, including grocery stores and pharmacies, are not included. Oh, so like grocery stores aren't included. Okay. I get that. Okay. Man, why not? Why not include it? Since voting 13-0 on August 11 to request the ordinance be prepared by the city attorney, a majority of council members expressed support for the measure that would require proof of vaccination before entering any indoor public spaces. Vaccine mandate, what's next? After signing measure Wednesday, Garcetti said, "Vaccinating more Angelos is our only way out of this pandemic, and we must do everything in our power to keep pushing those numbers up. these new rules will encourage more people to get the shot and make businesses safer for workers and customers, so that so that we can save more lives, better protect the vulnerable, and make our communities even safer as we fight this pandemic. Yes, all right. I'll never forget that my my brother, he he works well, he quit, but like before he used to work retail, and he got fucking COVID because of his coworkers. And when he came home, he spread COVID to my mom and me, and we both got COVID. So yeah, especially if you're working, get fucking vaccinated. That's like nasty. All right, get vaccinated, be clean, wash your hands, social distance, do all that. Two agencies will carry out enforcement starting in late November: the LA County Department of Public Health and the City of Los Angeles Department of Building and Safety. Okay. Businesses that violate the ordinance will be first warned, but then will be issued a $1,000 fine for a second violation, $2,000 fine for a third violation, a $5,000 fine for a fourth violation. Man, if you don't raise up these, if you don't raise up these prices, hell no, hell no. I don't give a damn. I don't care if people call me a tyrant or whatever. Hell no. They should be charged a lot more than like $1,000 the first time. I believe, okay, the warning, sure, I guess that's fine. I was gonna say you shouldn't be warned, but like maybe they don't know. So yeah, get a warning first. But second time, no. No fucking shot. It should not be this cheap for a fine. I don't care if it's a small business. We need to be hard. We need to be harsher on people. People are getting slaps on the wrist, and that shit's not okay. That's why like we're still in this shitty ass pandemic, because people are fucking stupid, and when they do the wrong thing, they get a slap on the wrist. No, 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 no. Whatever. I'm just I'm just moaning and crying just because that annoys me. Okay, support opposition among city council members. On September 29th, city council member Joe what does that say? Buscan Joe said he wouldn't support the ordinance, saying there's no enforcement measure in place. He invoked the city council rule to withhold anonymous consent, effectively preventing the council from voting on the ordinance on its first reading. Making a teenager serve as a bouncer to keep people in or out of a restaurant, then finding the business for their failure is not a good way to go about it. Sir, who the fuck said we have to do this? Where is this dumbass scenario coming from? What the fuck are you talking about? He also noted the conflict between the city's measure and the county's vaccination mandate, which only covers patrons and workers in indoor bars, wineries, breweries, lounges, and nightclubs. Councilman Bob Blumfield, I don't know, Bob. Why do these people have such simple ass names? Well, okay, whatever. Councilman Bob, Mike, and Paul expressed concern about the detail in the ordinance in the past, including the lack of enforcement, but noted that it was imperative that requirement goes into effect quickly, and that the detail on it can be fixed later. All those concerns being said, we can't delay a day longer. We need to advance forward with an ordinance that is going to protect people and their fellow citizens by making the choice not to be vaccinated. I mean, that's true though. I mean, low key, they're spitting facts. I'm not even gonna lie. They're kind of right. I'm sorry. Lack of enforcement. Look, we have these mandates and stuff already enforced, right? And yet there is a lack of enforcement. Again, like I said, people are getting slaps on the wrist, and that's like fucking stupid. People would be exempt from the mandate if they have a medical condition that restricted their ability to get vaccinated, or sincerely held religious belief, which would be reviewed by the location of the person just trying to enter. What the fuck is this bullshit? What? No. No shot. Well, this I understand. If people have a medical condition and they can't get vaccinated, which I have met people in my life who wanted to get vaccinated, yet they had a medical condition and the doctor said it was not safe and they could not get vaccinated. That is understandable. That does happen. All right. I know people who have been through that. It sucks. All right. But if you're talking about religious beliefs, I don't know, bro. I guess that could make a point because it's under their First Amendment right. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. It was my mommy. My mom was telling me something. Getting back to this. Where was I? Yeah, religious beliefs or whatever. I'm not gonna get into that. Whatever. I don't fucking care anymore. This is just exhausting. People who are exempt would be able to use outdoor areas of the location, but if unavailable they may be allowed to enter an indoor area by providing proof of negative COVID-19 test. Comparing LA's mandate to other, what does that say, money key capitalists? I never seen that word in my fucking life, dude. I feel like that's just a random word they made up and is like trying to troll me or something. Hold on. The ordinance is similar to policies in West Hollywood, New York, San Francisco, and San Francisco. West Hollywood's policy to require adult patrons entering many indoor businesses, to submit proof of at least partial vaccination goes into effect on October 7th. So today is October 7th, with full vaccination requirement beginning November 4th. Los Angeles vaccination requirements requires at least partial vaccination beginning October 7th, with full vaccination be required November 4th. While Los Angeles County continues to see falling numbers of COVID-19 hospitalizations and other metrics, the pace of residences being vaccinated remains relatively stagnant. And I don't know who the fuck this is, has warned that the pandemic will only end if that pace quickens. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, fully vaccinated people can still contract COVID-19 and transmit it to others, although they are far less likely to develop symptoms, require hospitalization, or die from the virus. Some of this evidence, this is some of the evidence that fully vaccinated people will likely spread the more contagious that fully vaccinated will spread more contagious Delta virus of the virus for less time than unvaccinated people, the CDC says. Yeah, I guess these effects and laws are going into place very soon, as we just read, like in West Hollywood and shit. That's already happening today for partial vaccination. Get vaccinated. That's all I have to say. We're moving on to booster shots. Okay. This is by the HuffPost. If you're eligible for a COVID booster shot right now, should you get it? Probably. If you're still confused about who should get the coronavirus booster shots and when, no one would blame you. First, federal government regulations squabbled about who should be eligible. Then, once they agree, they should put guidelines. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Okay. Here's a quick primer of who's eligible. First, people who are severely immunocompromised, like who are undergoing active cancer treatment, have HIV, or have an organ transplant, or who have had an organ transplant, or are eligible for a third dose of Pfizer, Moderna vaccines, and they have been since late August. That's because those people are likely to be have mounted a strong immune system response after their first dose. In September, the CDC and FDA took up the question on whether everyone should be eligible for boosters, as Biden administration has previously argued should be the case. Both groups have said no. For now, aside from the exemption above the blob, I'm not reading that long ass word again. Only adults who have received Pfizer vaccines are eligible for a booster shot at least 6 months after their second dose. You must also meet these conditions. If you're 65 and older or someone who lives with a long-term care setting, in that case, you should receive a booster shot, a Pfizer booster shot. If you're 50 to 64 years old with a certain medical condition, a category that includes things like pregnancy, diabetes, being overweight, or being a smoker, if you're in that group, you should receive a Pfizer booster. Okay, so this isn't for Moderna. Okay, this is just for Pfizer. Other people also qualify for a booster, but recommendation is less emphatic. I don't know how to read that. If you're 18 to 49 with an underlying medical condition, you may receive a Pfizer booster, the CDC says. If you're 18 to 64 working a job that puts you at increased risk of exposure and transmission, you may receive a booster. Okay, so basically, if you're 18 and older and you work at a job and that you're working a job that puts you more at risk of getting COVID, yeah, you may receive a Pfizer booster shot if you got Pfizer. Okay, this isn't for Moderna or for Johnson & Johnson. This is for Pfizer. Keep that in mind. Don't get it mixed up. Experts say you should go now if you're in a should you get a booster category. Like for me, for example, I got Pfizer. I am not eligible to get a booster shot. All right. Number one, because it hasn't been 6 months yet since I was vaccinated. Number two, I am not over the age of 18. Number three, I'm not employed and I'm not working a job where it puts me highly at risk of getting COVID. Okay. So like, if you're like me, you're not eligible to get vaccinated. You don't have to, and you don't need to. Experts say you should go now if you're in a should get a booster category. Though the CDC and FDA certainly waffled about who should get boosters about their final guidelines came out, both groups agree there is good evidence that people who are 65 years old plus or 50 plus with a certain health condition that might increase the risk of serious illness if they get a breakthrough infection should get a booster. Health experts aren't worried that those people didn't build significant immunity, as it is a certain case people with really compromised immune systems, but they are concerned that their age or medical condition put them at greater risk of getting really sick as their immunity wanes over time. The CDC recommends are really based on the risk of acquiring COVID and the risk of having a severe response to COVID, said Michael Ben Aderet, the Associate Medical Director of Hospital Epidemiology at this center. I'm not reading all that. But spreading that message while at the same time reassuring all Americans that the vaccines are continuing to do a really excellent job isn't a difficult line to walk. Experts emphasize that there are three vaccines approved for the U.S. and have continued to hold up well against the infection, especially Moderna's vaccine. All three are really effective at preventing hospitalization and death. Fully vaccinated still refers to 2 shots of Pfizer, 2 shots of Moderna, or a single booster shot from COVID-19, or a booster or a single shot from Johnson & Johnson. Sorry, I blinked out there. It still provides a huge degree of protection. Okay, so again, fully vaccinated means if you have 2 shots of Pfizer or 2 shots of Moderna or a single shot of Johnson & Johnson. Okay? Talk to your doctor about your risk factors and health background. If you fall into the may category, get a booster shot. Get a booster shot category. There's a good time to talk to your doctor about your circumstances. For example, say you're under 50 years old and fall into the overweight category, which the CDC defines as having a BMI greater than 25 but less than 30. How ridiculous to be, okay, blah, blah, blah. If you're otherwise young and healthy and you work from home, your doctor might not advise you to get a booster yet. But if you work in a really high risk setting like a hospital, your doctor's recommendation might be very different. What I've been telling people is that this is a really personal decision at this point. If you're already fully vaccinated and you're eligible for a booster, that decision of should I get it really kind of depends on your individual risk factors and your individual concerns. He said, it's a good thing to discuss this with your doctor. That's kind of a cool part. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm not reading that. Try not to optimize your timing of your booster shot. While it's definitely a good idea to talk to your doctor about particular circumstances, do not expect they're going to be able to help you optimize your immunity in any way based on your upcoming social calendar. There's simply not enough data for them to be able to tell you if you'd say be better off getting a booster right before the holidays when you might travel or see family. Yeah, true. Okay, again, even if you're vaccinated or if you got the booster shot, that doesn't mean that like you're Superman, okay? You can still be at risk, okay? Still wear your mask, still limit traveling, even though that sucks. Limit your traveling. Okay, wash your hands, social distance. Just because you're vaccinated, that doesn't mean you're out of the woods, okay? Still follow the rules, okay? I wouldn't try to time a booster shot around a certain event, he says. If you're eligible for a booster and it's something you and your physician decide you should get, then get it when it's your turn, which again is at least 6 months after your second dose. That said, one scheduling tip is to keep in mind is that you might feel crummy for a day or two. You roll up your sleeves again. Ethically, there's no reason to wait. Vaccine equity is a major global issue. One reason why many global health groups have been critical of mass boosting. Most vaccines are being reserved for wealthy countries, while other vaccine producing countries are restricting the export of doses so that they can ensure that their own citizens get vaccinated first, an approach which has been dubbed vaccine nationalism, the United Nations said. Still, in the United States, there are plenty of vaccine doses available, enough for those who are eligible to get boosters, as well as children ages 5 to 11 years old to get their first shots whenever approval comes through. So doctors say there's no individual reason to wait, and they should point out there's a strong moral argument to be made for going now. From an ethical perspective, you're not skipping a line, you're actually doing something that could help someone else. Lombard said, you're reducing harm to your neighbor if you follow these guidelines. Yeah, and if you want more information, check the CDC website, okay? So that's it on boosters. If you're eligible to get a booster shot, you're eligible. If you're not, you're not. Okay? I'm tired. That's all I have here. We're gonna, I don't have any other news, like, lined up. So what I'm probably gonna do is just check Twitter, because that's what I always do. Holy shit, what the fuck? We're gonna look at Twitter for a little bit, then I probably might end the stream. Yes, it's a very short stream, I'm sorry. Why the fuck is arrest Trump trending? What are the libs talking about now? Trump sends a letter to his aides ordering them to defy the January 6th committee opponents because he has an executive privilege. Although he's now a private citizen and it's Biden who has the executive privilege. That's hilarious, dude. What the fuck? Top Trump aides set to defy opponents in Capitol attack investigation. Okay, bro. I'm not gonna spend too much time on that because I don't want to talk about Trump. I'm tired of him. Alright? Why is Shane Dawson trending? Look, here I am again getting into the dumb YouTuber stuff. People respond to YouTuber Shane Dawson sharing a new video for the first time since June 2020. Oh my god! What the fuck? I know I did not just get a Shane Dawson notification. Bro, I'm tired. Why the fuck are you still subscribed to him then? I'm not. I'm not subscribed to Shane Dawson anymore. I used to be a fan, but after all that shit came out, I was like, nah, I'm good, bro. I'ma not associate myself with him anymore. Oh my god, that's hilarious. I know Shane Dawson did not just post after all that shit he's done. The Haunting of Shane Dawson. New Shane Dawson video just dropped. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Okay, go watch the new Shane Dawson video if you want. I don't fucking care. Do what the fuck you want. I don't give a shit. Dude, I love talking about dumb YouTuber drama and like dumb Twitch streamer drama because it doesn't matter. Like considering the fact that I cover the news on Twitch and I talk about like shit like, you know, like the government collapsing and then people are like, Shane Dawson. I'm like, okay. Yeah, we don't like him anymore. End of story. Let's make fun of him a little bit and close the book. Critical Role. What is this? Oh, just art. Okay, I don't know what that is. Breaking 20 hours ago, U.S. National News. A federal judge has blocked enforcement of the Texas abortion ban, granting an emergency request from the Justice Department. More details coming soon. Okay, you're fucking crazy if you think I'm not reading this. We're reading that. A sheriff in California has admitted to being a dues-paying member of the... What the fuck? Okay, bro. No. A Texas man who, according to federal prosecutors, wrote on Facebook that he has paid someone infected with coronavirus to lick groceries at a supermarket has been sentenced to 15 months in prison. That's it? Ew. What the fuck's... What a psycho. Okay, we're gonna talk about this. Alright. New Texas news. Yeehaw! I love talking about Texas. If you were a long-term fan and you watched my shitty videos, you know that I love Texas. I love Texas. Texas is my all-star. They never fail to surprise me because they're so fucking insane. They're crazy, and I love Texas because they're wild. That's the only reason. Ew, if you heard me swallow water, that sounded really nasty. Okay, we're gonna read this. Hold on, let me change the title of the screen really fast. Hold on. I changed my title of my stream like 10,000 times, but it's okay. Okay, judge orders Texas to suspend new law banning most abortions. I didn't cover this because I wasn't streaming at the time when this happened. All right, I missed most of the fun stuff, okay? Austin, Texas, a federal judge on Wednesday ordered Texas to suspend the most restrictive abortion law in the United States, calling it an offensive deprivation of the constitutional rights by banning most abortions in the nation's second most populous state since late September. The order by the U.S. District Judge Robert Pittman is the first legal blow to the Texas law known as Senate Bill 8, which until now has withstood wave of early challenges. In the weeks of the restrictions took effect, Texas abortion providers say the impact has been exactly what we feared. Okay, shouts out to my man, Judge Robert Pittman. Everyone clap it up. Shout out to my man, Alpha Male Shit, Sigma Male Shit, Girl Boss, Gas Keep. I said it wrong. Girl Boss, Gatekeep, Gaslight. Shouts out to my man, Robert. We love to see it. Bro, I need to relax. Okay, did I read that? Yeah, okay. In a 113-page opinion. Damn, my man wrote all that. Opinion Pittman took Texas to task over the law. saying Republican lawmakers had contrived an unexpedited and transparency statutory scheme by leaving enforcement solely in the hands of private citizens, who are entitled to collect $10,000 in damages if they bring successful lawsuits against abortion providers that who violate the restrictions. Okay, I'm gonna explain this really quick because when this abortion law first, well, Senate Bill 8, when this abortion law first came out, again, I wasn't streaming at the time and I didn't cover it, so I'm going to kind of explain the bill really quickly for you. So basically, the bill obviously it bans abortions after 6 weeks, I believe, if I'm getting that right. It bans abortions after 6 weeks, which is really bad. Really, really bad. And also, if anyone private citizens. So private citizens refers to basically everyone, not everyone, but like people like you and me, who we have the right to sue women who go out of their way to get abortions. And not only can we sue the woman, but we could also sue, the Uber driver who drove her to the clinic. We can sue the doctor who spoke to her about the abortion. And it doesn't matter if she was raped or she was involved in a case of incest and she was trying to get an abortion. Even if you're raped, or if a family member raped you, or if you were involved in, incest, that doesn't matter. You're still not allowed to get an abortion. So that's basically the bill in a nutshell. It's fucking horrible. And a bunch of people talked about it. It was everywhere, and it still is everywhere, as it should. We need to talk about this more. But again, I'm sorry I wasn't streaming at the time. But that's basically what it is. What the bill is. I try to sum it up really quick. Sorry. Who are entitled to collect $10,000. Yeah, and if the person successfully sues the woman or the person associated with the woman getting an abortion, they could get up to $10,000. The law signed by Governor Greg Abbott in May prohibits abortion once cardiac activity is detected, which is usually around 6 weeks. Yeah, six weeks. Before some women even know they're pregnant. It's fucking horrible. From the moment Senate Bill 8 went into effect, women have been unlawfully prevented from exercising control over their own lives in ways that are protected by the Constitution, wrote Pittman, who was appointed to the bench by former President Barack Obama. That other courts may find ways to avoid this conclusion, and there is to decide. This court will not sanction one more day of this offensive deprivation of such an important right. But even with the law on hold, abortion services in Texas may not instantly resume because doctors fear they will get sued without a more permanent legal decision. Planned Parenthood said it was hopeful the order would allow clinics to resume abortions services as soon as possible. Texas officials swiftly told the court of their intention to seek a refusal from the Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, which has previously allowed the restriction to take effect. The lawsuit was brought by the Biden administration, which has said the restrictions were enacted in defiance of the U.S. Constitution. Attorney General Merrick Garland called the order a victory for women in Texas and for rule of the law. Also, it's fucking crazy how it's 2021 and we're still arguing about this. We're still arguing whether or not women should have the right to do whatever the fuck they want with their bodies. It's crazy. It's insanity. This is crazy. America, baby. The law has been in effect since September 1st. For more than a month now, Texans have been deprived of abortion access because of an unconstitutional law that never should have gone into effect. The relief granted by the court today is overdue, and we are grateful that Department of Justice moved quickly to seek it, said Alex McGill Johnson, President, CEO of Planned Parenthood Federation of America. Texas Right to Life, the largest anti-abortion group, said the order was not unexpected. Yeah, no shit, dumbass. What the fuck do you think people are gonna do when you ban abortion, idiots? You think we're just gonna be like, oh yeah, oh, can't get abortions? Pfft, okay, everyone go home. It's a wrap. We'll try again later. Like, of course, no shit, dummy. Sorry, I'm annoyed. Obviously, this is ultimately the legacy of Roe versus Wade. That you have activist judges bending over backwards, bending presidents, bending the law in order to cater to the abortion industry. The abortion industry? What kind of dumb shit do you think this is? Are you stupid? Oh my god, said Kimberlyn Swartz, a spokeswoman for the group. These activist judges will create their conclusion first, that abortion is so-called constitutional right, and then work backwards from there. Bro, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Get a life. Get a hobby. What's wrong with you? Why do you care about what other people do with their body when it has so little to do with you? Is your life that fucking sad and lonely and pathetic that you waste your time worrying about what other people are doing with their own body? I'm sorry, these ugh ugh gets me so disgusted. Okay. Abortion providers say their fears have become reality in a short time that the law has been into effect. Planned Parenthood says the number of patients from Texas at its clinic and in the state decreased by nearly 80% in 2 weeks after the law took effect. Holy fuck, dude. Some providers said that Texas clinics are now in danger of closing while neighboring states struggle to keep up with surge of patients who must drive hundreds of miles. Other women, they say, are being forced to carry pregnancies to their term. Bro, well, like, that's not surprising. Like, we knew that was gonna happen. Like, oh, dude, that's so disgusting. And some women probably don't even have the financial capacity to drive all of that way to different states to get abortions. You know, especially women in poverty, poor people who don't have money to drive hundreds of miles to these states to get their abortions. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, and they have to be forced to carry out pregnancies that they don't want. That's insane. Other states, mostly in the South, have passed similar laws that ban abortion within the early weeks of pregnancy, all of which judges have blocked. A 1992 decision by the U.S. Supreme Court prevented states from banning abortion before viability, the point at which a fetus can survive outside of the womb around 24 weeks of pregnancy. But Texas' version so far outmaneuvered the courts because it leaves enforcement to private citizens to file suits, not prosecutors, which critics say amounts to a bounty. This is not some kind of vigilante scheme, said Will Thompson, counsel of the Texas Attorney General's office, while defending the law to Pittman last week. This is a scheme that uses to be normal lawful process of justice in Texas. Bro, as if judges already didn't get annoyed with dumbass Karens filing lawsuits against people for no fucking reason. Ugh, you know damn well that shit like definitely spiked up now that that law was in place. The Texas law is just one that set up one of the biggest tests of abortion rights in the United States in decades, and in part of a broader push by Republicans nationwide to impose new restrictions on abortion. On Monday, the U.S. Supreme Court began a new term, which in December will include arguments of Mississippi's bid to overturn 1973's landmark Roe v. Wade decision guaranteeing a woman's right to abortion. Last week, the court did not rule on the constitutionality, I think I read that right, of the Texas law and allowing it to remain in place, but abortion providers took that 5-4 vote as an anonymous, bro, I can't fucking read. Obvious sign that where the court would be heading on abortion after the conservative majority was fortified with three appointees of former President Donald Trump. Christ, dude, this is like, oh, if you're not annoyed by this, I don't know what to tell you. Last week, the court did not rule on the constitutionality of the Texas law and allowing it to remain in place, but abortions that took. Oh, okay, I just read that. After ahead of the new Supreme Court term, Planned Parenthood on Friday released a report saying that if Roe v. Wade were overturned, 26 states are primed to ban abortion. This year alone, nearly 600 abortion restrictions have been introduced in state houses nationwide, with more than 90 of them becoming law, according to Planned Parenthood. Texas officials in court filings that even if the law were put on hold temporarily, providers could still face a threat to litigation over violations that might occur in the time between a permanent ruling. At least one of the Texas abortion providers have admitted to violating the law and has been sued, but not by abortion opponents. Former attorney in Illinois and Arkansas say they sued an attorney doctor in hopes of getting a judge who would invalidate the law. Bro, that's fucking crazy, dude. Again, it should be said, this guy, Judge Pittman, this is only like one of the first things to like really attack the law. You know what I mean? Let me try to find it. I don't know. Is there anything else on this guy, Judge Pittman? Attorney. Okay. What does he look like? There's our guy. There's our guy. There's our man's alpha shit. Alpha shit. We love to see it. But again, yeah, this law's fucking horrible. It's dog shit. But I mean, best we can do is stay informed, advocate for it, and especially if you're in the position of power, do something about it. That's all I have to say on this. Hopefully, this ban crumbles very soon because it's fucking disgusting. And it's really gross how we're still arguing over whether or not a woman has the right to do whatever she wants with her body. It's gross. I'm moving on though. Oh yeah, I've seen people talking about this. An independent team of forensic investigators claim they have identified the Zodiac killer as Gary Forensic. Oh my god, who died 3 years ago. Whose dark rooms are. Oh my god, yeah. People are saying like they found the Zodiac killer. I don't care that much, to be honest. I'm not really that concerned about it. I'm not. Unless, I mean, criminal stuff and like serial killers is interesting, but at the same time, it's like, I don't. Yeah. Good job, guys. I would stream longer, but I don't want to. Yeah, this was a very short stream. This was a baby stream today. I'm just happy that the stream didn't crash again like it did yesterday, which was really bad. I hope this stream went okay. We talked about Hasan Piker, we talked about student loan debt, we talked about vaccines, we talked about the abortions going on in Texas. We talked about a good handful of stuff. I'm streaming now for an hour and 23 minutes, which isn't bad. But hopefully I'll probably stream again tomorrow. I don't know. Again, I wouldn't say I'm officially back to streaming, because I've been really busy with like college work and stuff. Because yeah, like months ago when I last streamed, I was a high school student, and now I'm in college. So that's a very big shift. Things are changing in my life. I'm doing more things in my life, like projects, and I'm volunteering more in Los Angeles, and I'm doing things like that, and I'm even working on a campaign. I'm not going to say the campaign that I'm working for because that's my business. But yeah, I've been pretty busy, and I think I'm doing big things, and I think that's very exciting for myself. But you guys don't give a shit about me. So I'll probably talk about the news again tomorrow. But thanks for tuning into the stream. I really do appreciate it. If you're watching, thank you. Thanks for giving me those excellent views. But I'll probably stream again tomorrow. I don't have a good schedule. I don't have one. But if I have time, I'll try to figure it out because I do like streaming. I do enjoy it. Don't think I don't enjoy it because I do. But I'll see you guys probably tomorrow or whenever I see you. Thanks for watching. Bye.